up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace Honey. Today we're getting into the Ensley Reign Cold Moon palette. Now, I know there's been a few controversies around this brand. I had my own personal experience. We're gonna talk about what I'm doing the eye look with you, but you know, like, I'm feeling like this might be my last review of the brand. Like I said, I'll tell you my experiences later, but this is what the inside of the packaging looks like. And the sleeve and the box and everything looks the same. And here is what the inside of the palette looks like. So she definitely gives me rose quartz vibes. When I first saw it, that's what it made me think of. So let me go ahead and show you the palettes that I have pulled out to compare to this palette, just in case anyone was curious. So I pulled some to compare, and I pulled some just to pair with. Y'all know the drill. So let's get into it. So I have this one, and then I pulled Giant Wolves to pair with it because I think it might be a fun combination of palettes to pair together. So what they look like side by side. I definitely feel like some of the deeper greens would be nice to pull in over here along with the blues, since a lot of the mattes are more peachy or like cool tone neutralist type vibe, and y'all know I live for colorful moments. So although a couple of them are considered color because like peachy, like I would prefer to have more of the depthful colors like this, and the dual chromes and multi-chromes in here would go nicely with it. Not that Annette's palette isn't fine on its own, but you know, I figured it would pair nicely together, so that's what I'm doing. The next, I have the Jewels and Gem palette. Again, it made me think of similar vibes when I saw it, so I'm like, I feel like I could have did a Do You Really Need on this palette, just because I'm like, I have a few palettes I feel like give similar vibes, but y'all know these are my type of tone, so I was like, let me go ahead and show it off. Oh, and if you need a code, my girl Dion has a code. We're going to talk about the situation with the code too, which is another reason I'm kind of like turned off, if you will. Next, I have Troublemaker from ColourPop. Now remember, I did switch around my Troublemaker, so it's not going to look exactly like this, like it's supposed to, but you know, I decided it needed a fun red in it instead of all the deep tones in it. But again, I feel like it gives a lot of similar tones, and if I covered up the red, I feel like it would give quite the similar tones to this palette, so I wanted to show them together. Next, I have the Pretty Please palette from ColourPop. Again, I rearranged mine for this as well, so it doesn't look the way it's supposed to. But I feel like it would add some nice fun pops of color to this palette, because again, it's giving a lot of cool tone. And you know, ColourPop doesn't really do a lot of dual chromes and multi-chromes, so I feel like the mattes in here that are colorful will go nicely with the dual chromes and multi-chromes in this palette. So that's why I put it in. Then we have the Color of Rain from the, what is it, the GlossGods. This is the first and only palette I have from them so far. I have plans to get more, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But I feel like some of the shimmers in here might be similar to the shimmers in here, which is why I want to show them side by side. I might do swatches at the end of this video, or I might just do swatches in the shorts that I plan on putting up for this later on this week. We'll have to see, but that's what both of them look like side by side. So, excuse me. Next, we have the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette that I was talking about all this time, that I feel like it looks really similar to. I feel like this is the indie version of the Rose Quartz palette from Huda Beauty, to be perfectly honest. They're definitely giving me similar vibes, if you will. Like I said, this was the first palette I thought of, and then I thought of the Gems and Jewels by Ulta Beauty that I showed you. So as you can see, they're both giving very similar vibes, if you will. And then I have my Blend Buddy, the Dollhouse palette. Now this one I would pull in with this one just to add some deeper tones to go along with it. Plus I really like that blue shimmer right there, and I feel like maybe I could put one of the dual chromes on top of it and give it an extra oomph, if you will. But I may grab this one for the deeper tones in there. I feel like it would add to this palette, because I feel like this only has like one or maybe two, and this one gives you a nice gradient. You know, they give you the transition shades, the airbrush shades, the deeper outer V shades, and then some nice shimmers for the inner corner and the lid. So that's why I picked it to go alongside this one. Then lastly, I have my Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction, because I definitely feel like Moonlit Seduction gives me some of the vibes of this. I feel like it's giving a little bit more burgundy and warm tonishness to it, but they both are like giving cool tone vibes, and I'm definitely like here for it. So this gives a little bit of cool tone mixed with warm tone, whereas this is more just all cool tone. But again, I feel like they'd be a good combination, or like maybe a good alternative for you if you already have this. because this one is kind of high. So, but the best dupe for this one, in my personal opinion, or alternative, would be Rose Quartz, and then I would pick Gem and Jewels, and then I would get the Blend Bunny Dollhouse, just because I feel like you get more shades and variety for depth when it comes to the Blend Bunny Dollhouse and those other ones. So those are all the ones I had to show you to compare to. Zoom in real quick and cute. I'm gonna go off camera and get my life in order to get an eye look done. I don't know what the eye look's gonna look like yet, so you just gonna have to wait and see it right along with me. But yeah, for once I literally have no idea. Like, I haven't thought of any idea of what I want to do, so we're gonna be surprised together, girl. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, girl. Okay, so here's the eye we working with. I pulled this purple right here called Catmint. Then I pulled the shade called Mother's Night for the outer V. I have, now I don't know if they were trying to spell fairy and they just spelled it wrong, because it says F-A-E-R-I-E. But I'm gonna just say Storm Fairy. And then I took Snow Crystal. And then I took Saturnalia, I believe is how you pronounce this one. And that's what I use. And then I use Snowdrop in the inner corner here, this one right here. So let's get into it. Okay, so the reason I say this might be my last video with this brand is because it's like I'm seeing a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not liking. And since I haven't tried them or used them that long, like, I gave them a chance to like give their responses to stuff or whatever. But like, a couple of things I just haven't been feeling and don't necessarily like that I'm seeing the brand do. So I'm deciding I might just be stepping back and just like watching from a distance and seeing what's going on as far as that concerned. Because it's like, if you haven't seen my girl Dionluvsmakeup's video on the matter, then you can go check that out for people who have sensitive eyes like she does. Because she felt like they kind of falsely advertised one of their palettes, the Harvest Moon, the one I did my, I think it's my second review from that brand on. Yeah, because this is my fourth one. The Enchantment one was the third one. Harvest Moon was the second one, and then Strawberry Moon was the first one. Strawberry Moon was the first one I saw that I was like, yes, aside from my girl Shifty Shadows collab with the brand. Well, I follow on Instagram. You should definitely check out her Instagram. It's really nice. But anyway, so when it came to the brand, I was like, Strawberry Moon looked interesting. I wanted to try it before I tried my friend's collab, you know. Well, not my friend, but like one of the people I follow's collab. So I bought that one, and then her collab ended up leaving it and didn't come back. So I was sad I didn't get a chance to get it. I'm taking Mother's Night now. But I got Strawberry Moon. Y'all know I really liked it. I thought it was nice. I didn't know how I felt about the mattes per se or whatever, but I went ahead on. Then I got the Harvest Moon because I was like, I feel like it'd be a good alternative to what do you call it, Fall Magic. And I already had the original Fall Magic, so I was like, I'll get that instead of the new Fall Magic. Try to, you know, try to branch out with some new brands and try some new stuff for you all instead of the same old thing. Even though I like a lot of the brands I try, and I feel like they come out with a lot of great things, so I was like, okay, let's try them out, let's see how it goes. But I don't know, I've been seeing controversies about them and like the packaging, first of all, when it comes to the AI little person that they have on it or whatever, because it's rumors going around, and this is allegedly, all I'm about to say is allegedly, except the personal experience I've had with the brand that we'll talk about toward the end. But yeah, allegedly, like, they're stealing AI art from other creators who I guess made it or whatever, and not giving them proper credit and putting it on their packaging and everything else. That's the rumor that was going around. So that was one of the rumors going around. There's a couple. So the weird thing is, they said they would address that one in the Instagram stories, and I was like, but you made this long post about the other one, but that we're about to talk about right now, which is the them being white label. Because if you don't know, it's not actually private label. White label is when you, like, you know, have them make you private labels, when you have them make you some stuff for your brand as far as formulas and color stories or whatever, and they make it just for you. Whereas I heard white label is actually the one that they just make a custom color story palette, and you can have them range the color whatever way you want, and then you just buy it in whatever formula they already have set up. So apparently we've been listening to it backwards, according to my girl Dionluvsmakeup. She has sent me some information about it, because she, you know, y'all know, so she has an issue. She has to look into that type of stuff. But either way, they made a long post about how they started off as private label, but then they changed from not being private label to, you know, like coming up with their own formulas and color stories and all that, which is fine. A lot of brands, we all know, start off as like, what is it, white label, and then private label, and then go up white label. I believe that's what I said. But like I said, Dion's video is very informative on this matter, and there was one other YouTuber who actually has a coupon code with the brand who had a video about it too, so I'll leave hers down below too. I think she's the same one I showed you all the video on when I talked about how I was taking a break from what was it, Unearthly for a little while because I feel like the formula was like inconsistent or whatever. But yeah, so anyway, she said she addressed all of that and put that to bed, but she never addressed like the AI art that's on the packaging. So I'm just like, okay, well, why didn't you just address that, you know, like at the same time instead of coming back later? And from what I've seen or heard, I haven't heard anybody else talk about the Instagram story or her post anything regarding the Instagram story. We're gonna start off with Storm Fairies, which is the one that's on the back of the eye. So I was just like, that's interesting to me because it's like you going out of your way to make this long paragraphs and paragraphs of posts about like the formula and stuff, but when it comes to the art, it's like, yeah, I'll do that later. Put an Instagram post. Like, why not address both of them at the same time? So I agree with Dion in her video about that because I was like, why didn't she just address both things at the same time? So that looked a little sus. I'm not saying, that's why I said allegedly, because I don't know what's going on over there and who all over there and all that or whatever. But I was like, I just thought it was interesting that you just didn't address both things at one time. It's like you could have posted that one day and then addressed the AI art another day or something. So it's like, why didn't we address those? So I thought that was interesting. Now getting to my part. Now Dion talked about this in her video as well, and then she posted a comment on Community Cab later on about it. So she and I had signed up for their affiliate program, because they have an affiliate program where you can, you know, like do your you can sign up and they'll give you like a link and a code, and then you can give your customers a percentage off. So it's like, I'm used to them being, you know, done pretty quickly. So it's like, that's why I already had like my link in my description box and my information. Because like when I did the Natasha Denona one, like I think within a day or two, like she had already set up all that stuff. The same thing with my Charlotte Tilbury one and a lot of other brands. I know some of the indie brands take a little bit longer than other ones. Like my one from Adept took a little while, but my whole thing is like, I wasn't really concerned about it. It wasn't like she had gave me information or had anything set up where it said it was going to be reviewed within a certain amount of time. So I didn't trip about the Adept one because it's like it didn't say that. I got to go get a new battery, y'all. That's why I put it down. But when we come back, we are going to go into the shade Snow Crystal. So I'll be right back. Okay, but so with the same thing with Dede Signature, it did take a little while, but my whole thing is like, I didn't worry about the Dede Signature one as much because I know she is like a mom of like, I believe it's 3 or 4, and I think she's a nurse as well if I remember correctly. So I knew she had just started her brand up again, so I didn't expect her to get to it in a timely fashion, even though hers said the same thing, like 48 to 72 hours. But it's like, I had filled mine out, then I told Dion about it. I was like, you know, this brand is trying it out, and she had told me she was looking at the Harvest Moon palette. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm like, well, you know, like maybe you, when you get it, if you like it, you can, you know, like sign up for the code and maybe you'll have it by then, because she pre-ordered hers like I pre-ordered mine. I'm like, okay, so you can have your code to give to your, you know, like followers or whatever once you try it out, depending on how you feel about it or whatever, and it should be done within this month. So I filled mine out, I think a week or 2 weeks before I told Dion about it, because I wasn't sure if she was interested. And once she told me she was interested in the Harvest Moon, I was like, okay, fill out the thing and do it or whatever, and fill out Dede Signature too and try them out. So Dede Signature one has gone through. It's down below in the description box if anyone's interested in anything. I do want to get that new quad she has coming out. Random side note, I'm sorry, already had come out with the collection for her sister. I think it's very nice, and I'm definitely interested in trying it out or whatever. So I will be grabbing that probably this weekend when I get paid. But sometimes I try to like space out stuff because I want to get the collection. I think it's so nice, and the eye look she did was gorgeous. But back to this. So I ended up signing up, and I was like, okay, cool, you know, whatever. I'll sign up. We'll see what's going on, who's all over there, whatever. So I never heard anything back. So just like Dion, I was like, it said reach out and contact them via email. So I contacted them via email. I was like, okay, I signed up at this point. Y'all said this amount of time, and I haven't heard anything. So I'm going to be like Dion and try to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, well, maybe they were overwhelmed with orders, whatever. But it's like, I never got a response for either one of my emails that I sent, like, 2. Because at first I was like, well, did I email the right place? Once Dion told me she had emailed them, and she told me that they emailed her and told her they were going to get back to her. And then they eventually got back to her. So now we're going to take Snowdrop. But they never, like, sorry, not Snowdrop, what it's called, Saturina, that one. But I'm like, they never got back to me ever. Like, to this day, they've still never gotten back to me about what was going on with code. And now when I go to the page, it just says they're currently not accepting any or anything like that. And I did notice that when I had clicked on my code just to see what was going on with it, it named some other creator underneath the code that they had linked to the page that was supposed to be a part of my account. So I think it said like Pixie Beauty or Pixie Glow or something like that. And I was like, so they automatically generate one for me, and then when you put somebody above me, I guess it automatically makes their code my code one. It was just really confusing. I was like, what in the world is going on over here? So it's like I'm just seeing a few things that to me are just giving red flags and stuff that I personally don't want to be bothered with or associated with. Because it's like, if you allegedly having these issues with taking from other creators, I don't like that. Because, you know, people always think they should be able to prey on smaller creators and take from them and not treat them the way that you would treat these bigger ones. But it's like those bigger ones are more small like me, and I'm sure they have these same stories, but that doesn't make it okay by any means. And then the whole thing with the AI and like trying to dodge instead of just addressing it when they address the formula situation. So it's like, it was just a couple of things that I was seeing. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, and I don't like it. So I don't know if y'all want to get any more reviews from this brand, just because it's like, it's just too much going on, and I feel like they're not handling business in a timely fashion or a professional manner, just from the experience I know personally that my girl Dionluvsmakeup had with them, that she, like I said, she put openly out in the video to properly inform you all. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know how I feel, but I'm feeling like So I'm gonna take this shade Lilac from Maybelline Mitchell and put my eyeliner. But yeah, so I'm feeling like I don't like all that and all what's going on. As far as that goes, I'm kind of just like, you know, like I'm love you from a distance type vibe till I see what's going on and who all over there, and if we can, like, you know, rectify all these issues I'm seeing going on. Because it's like, I don't mind buying products, and it's not that I can't necessarily take away the artist from the art, because I've done that with some brands. Like, sometimes I still do hourglass for you and all that, even though I feel like they don't necessarily cater to people who look like me, till they were literally forced to by the people that they were making the stuff for. So it's like, y'all know, sometimes I'll still do it, but it's just like, with this, I'm just like, I want to see, you know, how this is about to transpire and how it's going to go out. So maybe later on in the year, if this stuff has been cleared up and some issues have been resolved, then I'll be more willing to, you know, like, purchase. But right now, I'm kind of just over here side-eyeing, like, I sent you this like over 2 months ago. You can't respond to my emails at all. You can't help me in any way. People saying that you're stealing other people's stuff. People saying that you private label. People saying all these things, and you only addressing all these things. And I'm having my own personal issues with you, and it's just kind of like, you know, I feel like it's just too much going on. But here are the shades that I put on my eyes. So this is the Snow Fairies. This is, what was this one called? I want to say this is Snow Crystal. Yeah, so it's Storm Fairy Snow Crystal, and then this is Saturnalia, and then this was Cat Mint and Mother's Night. So those are all the ones I put on my eyes. Let me back you on up and talk about my thoughts. So as usual, I really like the shimmers. I love the shimmers in here. The mattes performed nicely as well. It's a nice palette. I personally feel like if you already have the Rose Quartz palette from Huda Beauty, you might not necessarily want to rush out and get this one, just because, you know, it's kind of high. Not to say that it isn't worth it, because like, you're not gonna get dual pump or multi pump like this from the Rose Quartz palette. It does have some nice shades in it though. I'll swatch some of the shades next to it. Like the shade Cosmic Love is pretty nice. I want to swatch it in front of, what do you call it? I swatched it in front of the Storm Fairy. So that's Cosmic Love in front of Storm Fairy. And let me see, it doesn't have any more of the iridescent shades that shift to like green and blue and purple like this. Well, it has one that's similar to this, but it's not gonna have the green. It's just gonna have the blue and the purple in it, and that shade is called Moon Magic. So I'll swatch that one alongside this other one. So you're not gonna get exact shimmers by any means. So this is Moon Magic right here in front of this one. As you can see, they shift two different colors. This one shifts more of a true purple, and this is more of like a blue purple. So they're not giving the exact thing. If you definitely want more pigmented and duochromes and multi-chromes when it comes to your shimmers, then I definitely feel like you're gonna have to look to the Ensley Reign one. You might be able to get away if you're just concerned about shimmers with the GlossGods palette, because it has a lot of nice shifting shimmers in it too that I feel like resemble some of these. I can do swatches of them if anyone is interested in a shorts. I might just go ahead and do that so I have a shorts for the week, because y'all know I've been bad at shorts lately. But you know, it's a great palette. It performs nicely. It does a good job. I'm just personally trying to kind of distance myself just based upon me seeing too many, I guess you can call them red flags that I'm not necessarily liking. So I think I might be taking a break for a little bit. But you know, that doesn't take away from that this is a nice quality palette, and if you are interested in it, you should purchase it. If you don't care about the things that I care about, that's totally fine. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out Dion's video if you more info regarding this matter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.